my name is Faith and I'm a gardener here in North Florida in Zone 8B, and I am so excited to be coming to you today with this video because it's a brand new year. We're just started January and we're also in a brand new garden. I have yet to do a garden tour in this space. I bought this house in June and this is a brand new garden, and I also have not done a winter garden tour or just a garden tour period. So I'm so excited to be doing this today and showing you how everything is looking and how everything is going. Alright, let's go. So in this first bed right here we have some herbs. This is calendula, which is so beautiful. I love the way calendula opens and rises with the sun. It's just kind of medicine that rises with the sun. So every day the sun comes out, the blossoms open and then they close back up at night. I believe this calendula is from a Zeolite's collection, or it could be strawberry blonde, but I think it's Zeolite's collection. But it's very beautiful little kind of champagne rose pink color. We have some nasturtiums. So typically in the past when I've done a raised bed garden, I've liked to put a bunch of herbs in the front of my garden and have the main two beds as all of my herbs. However, since this is a new garden and it's not quite to the size that I am eventually going to have it yet, this is just its beginning stages, I am trying to focus entirely on food here so that I have enough space to grow all the food that I want. So I have definitely tucked in a lot of calendula and some nasturtiums and things that I can grow here in the cold. I haven't focused on that entirely in the front two beds like I have in the past. So we have some, I'm actually not sure what this is going to be because I didn't properly label, but this is either going to be some sort of broccoli or Romanesco or cauliflower. All of the plants got a little bit of holes in them, not from pest damage, but because we had a huge storm that was very, very windy recently, and it just did kind of a lot of damage to some of the plants. We have some French breakfast radishes down here, looking so pretty. I'm probably going to harvest these soon and resow. And then I have a different kind. I can't remember what I planted in the back, but they're not ready yet. Although you can see some of them starting to form. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. And then tucked in around I have some romaine, some other lettuces, some cilantro. I have peas coming up these two trellises here in the middle. So for those of you who are new here and are just coming across my channel for the first time, the folks over at Gardener Supply sent me some of these trellises and these raised beds to try out, and I've been really excited about them. These black ones are part of the new Zenith collection, and these are standalone trellises, and I'll show some more as part of that collection as I go on. But these already, you can find these standalone trellises in blue and yellow, but this black will be new to the collection, and currently I have some peas growing on it. I think these are going to be purple peas, but you can also grow tomatoes on them. You can use them to support peppers, eggplant, things like that. Really good little standalone trellising options and support. So I really like those. And kind of the same thing over here, just a different kind of pea. This is some borage that I tucked in. Almost about to flower, which is really exciting. Some beets, I have some beets tucked in around the corner. Some more cilantro. These are some, so these were red beets, and these are golden beets. You can kind of see the stem is more. So yeah, so I really love to do a really diverse planting in all of my beds. Moving over to the next front bed, I kind of mirrored this one over here. Have some more calendula, nasturtiums. Isn't that pretty? It's really big. This one actually, this nasturtium looks like it's about to bloom any day now. And then up the front side of this here, I have some kohlrabi, which are starting to form little bulbs. So that's really exciting. I have a little bit of basil here. I got a little damage from some frost we had, but otherwise it's still kind of hanging in there. And then tucked into these are called pop-up tomato accelerators that you can also find at Gardener Supply on gardeners.com. These help kind of protect and kind of like little greenhouses for your tomatoes. And they have a net top so that you can ventilate. And they help protect your tomatoes and help them to grow faster and stay warmer. These have been really, really impressive to me because we have had nights that have gotten down to like definitely freezing. When it gets really cold, I do throw over a frost blanket just to be on the safe side. But so far, my tomatoes have been growing and looking so good. Look how big this one is. Here, I want to see if I can get it open. Okay, look at that. So this is a full tomato. It's already flowering. It's tried to set off flower several times and I've prevented it from doing it to help it continue to grow, but it's almost reached the top of this tomato accelerator and is just looking very, very good. So I'm growing indeterminate tomatoes in these popper accelerators because I eventually plan on taking them off and putting up some trellising that Gardener Supply sent me. But I really think this would be perfect if you're trying to grow tomatoes in a cold environment where you know it's going to be cold, and you could grow some determinate tomatoes where it wouldn't get as big, because indeterminate is eventually going to outgrow these pop-up accelerators, which would be fine when you're planning for that. But say it's going to stay cold and you just need to keep them protected, I think you could grow some determinate tomatoes and they would never outgrow the pop-up accelerators, and you could keep them on and probably grow these tomatoes all winter, which I actually have been growing these tomatoes all winter so far as well. I keep expecting the frost or something to damage them and kill them, but between these accelerators and our frost blankets, they are thriving. Also, if it starts getting too warm during the day, you can just unzip this and let them completely air out. And everything looks good. So along the front here, I've just got some Lisento Dyna Kale, a little bit more calendula. I've been loving harvesting this even just to like put up and freeze just so I can have it during the summer. This is one of my favorite greens to throw into saute or soup or stir fry or just about anything to add some extra greens and nutrition. Over here, I have some more tomatoes that I'm growing up the side of this trellis here. This is also a part of Gardener Supply's new Zenith collection. It's a completely new product that is not available yet, but I will link all of these things down below and put out any product release information as it becomes available for you all to know. But I have been loving trialing all of these out. In the middle, I'm growing some Scarlet runner beans, and then I'm using the sides of these for some indeterminate tomatoes. And then down at the bottom, I've just got some blue curled Scotch kale, some spinach and arugula, and for whatever reason this runner bean is taken off, but these little ones don't want to seem to be growing, so I'm not sure. That one actually I probably can make attach, but I also have some African blue basil on the side that's I'm trying to start, as well as some more calendula and some little rutabaga sprouts here in the back. Oh, and some little bush beans, which are flowering as well. Look at that. You can almost look at this and just pretend that it's spring, but it's not. It's January. So in this bed, I have all of my brassicas, or at least the majority of them. I have different cauliflower, Romanesco, broccoli, purple cauliflower, just all of that growing in here. I also have some calendula up the border, as well as some dill, and then I have some peas. This got toppled over in a windstorm the other day, so I need to have some twine that goes down that the peas can help climb up. But these are new to Gardener's DIY kit collection. Basically, you buy the Teepee Connectors, which come in red and black, and then you can go to basically like a hardware store and get this, which is called electrical conduit. You can either have them cut it to the size that you need, or you can just get a little bolt cutter and cut it yourself, which is I did, which was actually very, very easy. I thought it was going to be complicated, and it wasn't at all. And then you can just make the teepees whatever size that you want. So I went with a smaller one in this bed, which I have peas on, and then a larger one in the other bed, which is going to have Scarlet runner beans as well. And then I just tucked in some garlic here in the back. I've been trying to tuck in garlic wherever I had little empty spaces. So over here, some more brassicas, some cabbages, some more calendula. None of these have bloomed yet, but they look like they're about to. And then here you can see the runner beans growing up the twine that attaches to the trellis. I don't know if you can see under there very well, but it's basically a little circle underneath the connector that you can tie the twine to. And so all you need to use is some garden stakes, attach it to the bottom, and it gives you some more trellising to add onto the teepee, so you can have a really full teepee when everything kind of takes off. So I think that's going to look so lovely. So really excited about these. I think they added just a really cute, doesn't everything just look like a really cute touch? Even the little dog over there in the corner. Hi Oliver, are you sitting in the shade? Okay, on to the last bed that I have. So again, more calendula, just because I absolutely love calendula. There's just so many uses for calendula, from using it in teas and for your skin and just infused oils. Plus, I have found that it does so much better for me during the winter here in Florida than it does in our really hot summers. I can usually get it to grow through the spring, and then as soon as it starts getting too hot, it kind of just wilts out. So I really love growing it in the winter because it grows all winter for me. I also have some garlic, some more romaine, which look how beautiful these are all looking. Some red romaine. I believe this is trucas. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Some more peas that are growing up. This is the shorter version of the Zenith collection in the Zenith family. So you see the really tall version in the back there, and this is the shorter version. So I'm growing some peas, and then I'm actually doing peppers on the side here. I randomly found peppers at a local nursery, and I thought, wow, what are the chances? So if it does happen to die back, I can easily overwinter it and it'll come back. So, and then we have some more garlic, some more little bush beans, and look at this really full bed of carrots. I just think that looks so pretty. I don't know if any of them are even close to being ready yet. I don't think so. But they sure look like they are healthy and doing well. So far, that is the garden. I also forgot to mention that these are Gardener Supplies deep root cedar raised beds. So they're a little bit taller than a standard raised bed, and this is a 4x12 here in the front. So you have a little connector that comes in the middle, and then the ones in the back here are 4x8. You can also, if you don't want to buy the full raised beds where it comes like this came with the cedar wood already, you can buy just the connectors and go source your own wood as well. So that may be a more affordable option depending on your wood sourcing. And yeah, I just think they have been so pretty. I'm so impressed with just the way the wood looks, how easy they were to put together, which I can link a video where I put them all together and talk about Gardener Supply sending me all these products. But if you like anything that I have mentioned here from them, you can easily find that on gardeners.com, and I will link everything below as well, and as well as put in any release date information as things come available. I think these pop-up tomato accelerators are already out, as well as the standalone Zenith trellises in blue and yellow. But everything else will be coming out this year in 2022, so that's really exciting. I'm going to try to hide from the wind for a minute here for a second, just to say that I really love growing in a raised bed because, one, it's so convenient and easy. I have an 8 to 5 job just like most people, and I assume most gardeners. So by the time I get home, especially in the winter, I have about 20 minutes of daylight to get any of my garden chores, anything done, and then everything else has to be saved for the weekend, along with any of my homesteading chores, just house cleaning, errands, you name it. I'm sure you know how that goes. So for me, having a raised bed garden where I can control the soil, it's a quick startup. I don't have to do any amending of the soil, just the way you would have to prepare the land to do in-ground gardening, even if you tilled, which I don't really support, but even if you did kind of a no-dig method and had it started up by chickens or covered it with cardboard and then put compost on top of it, a lot of that stuff takes a long time to get together and to get ready. Maybe not if you just did straight no-dig, but raised beds is just very easy to put together. I find I have very low weed pressure. I know this past season I did some in-ground gardening and I did not set up the no-dig correctly just because for lack of time, and I spent my entire season of growing trying to combat the weeds. And here in a raised bed garden, which I have definitely done before, my first house, it's just not like that. So I really love to grow in a raised bed garden. I plan to extend this raised bed garden to an even larger raised bed garden, but honestly for most gardeners, unless you're trying to do a huge self-sustainable where all of your food is self-sustainable and all your vegetables, this, what do I have, 6 raised beds is a perfect size, and I have really loved that. So that's just my take on why I like raised bed gardening. I know some people say, well, anybody can grow with store-bought soil, and I think yes, that's precisely the point. Anyone can. So I think that's great. Anyways, I hope you all are doing well and enjoying the little garden tour of what I have growing so far. It's been a beautiful winter, and I'm very, very excited about this new year and hopefully getting to start all my spring seeds soon. That is one of my favorite reasons why I love January. Even though it often gets really cold and freezes in January, I know that spring is just around the corner because I'm starting all of my spring seeds. So stay tuned for that soon. Bye, guys. Also, I just want to show you guys, since I haven't in a little while, that I have been getting this section of landscaping around the front of my house done, and this is where I have been mostly adding my herbs. So I've got some chives, some tricolor sage. I have some milkweed that I actually need to strip that off because it's not time for that to be growing yet. Some bronze fennel, more nasturtiums, some aloe, a couple of zinnias that are somehow growing, I don't even know. Lavender, some oregano, lemon thyme, and here mixed in with this Florida betony, which is the most invasive and aggravating weed, is black-eyed Susans. And then I have some regular sage, some pineapple sage, blackberries, some nettle is in that pot, but it's not growing right now. I actually don't know the name of these because I did not plant those. Some more lavender, some little snapdragons, truly pretty. There's some rosemary back here. And yeah, so I've kind of just been tucking all of my herbs into this section while I work on growing my other garden section. I just want this to be very cottage garden like and just full of flowers and herbs, and just really love incorporating that into the landscape around my house. And then up here in the front I also have added in some hydrangeas, and let's see, another hydrangea, and I also did a gardenia over here. And so I'm planning on filling in all of these kind of barren spaces eventually too. So beautiful, beautiful day here in North Florida. Oh yeah, and then I just have stuff tucked in everywhere. I think is really just my personality. I also have some turmeric growing in this pot, as well as just some lilies, and I'm planning to do, I think, some roses, because you can also use roses in a lot of herbal care, and I really love those roses for teas too. So I think I'm gonna put some roses here in the middle that can kind of tolerate some shade a little bit. I don't know if that'll work well, but those are azaleas. They'll bloom in the spring. They're very beautiful. But really pretty right under this drake elm tree. So everything so far going well. Okay, bye for real. Until next time. Come on, Oliver. I see you. Come on. Does not want to come in. Yeah, I know. Inside probably not as fun. I agree.